Do you ever find yourself struggling to focus on a single page of a book, or feeling like your mind is constantly drifting? Time seems to slip away while we stay frozen, caught in a cycle of mental fatigue that prevents us from reaching our full intellectual capacity. In our modern world, your intelligence is under a constant, invisible attack from daily habits you might consider harmless or even necessary. Today, we are exposing the truth. These are the 8 common habits that are secretly killing your IQ and draining your cognitive potential. Scientific research shows that our brains can actually lose processing power when subjected to the stresses of modern life and poor routine choices. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why, or realized your memory isn't as sharp as it used to be just years ago? Inside your head, the gears of cognition are grinding to a halt, affected by biological changes that we often ignore until it is too late. Neurologists are seeing an alarming trend: cognitive atrophy in younger populations, driven by lifestyle factors that were once thought to be benign. This is the fog, a state of mental cloudiness that prevents clear thinking and dampens your natural brilliance every single day. History's greatest minds would be shocked at how we treat our most valuable asset. It is time to reclaim your brain's health. The first major culprit is chronic sleep deprivation. In our hustle culture, we treat sleep as a luxury rather than a biological necessity. When you skip sleep, your brain cells struggle to communicate. Synapses become weak, and the pathways for learning and memory begin to crumble. During deep sleep, a cleaning crew of glial cells flushes out toxins. Without it, the trash in your brain builds up, causing mental decay. A single night of poor sleep can drop your effective IQ by several points, leaving you as impaired as if you were legally intoxicated. Your brain's battery isn't just low, it's damaged. Continued deprivation leads to permanent loss of neurons that cannot be easily replaced. Think of it as an hourglass. Instead of sand, you are losing the very cells that make you who you are, grain by grain. Science calls this reduced neuroplasticity. It means your brain loses the ability to adapt, learn new skills, or solve complex problems effectively. We try to mask the damage with caffeine, but coffee only hides the tiredness. It doesn't perform the essential maintenance your brain requires. Operating on low sleep is like driving a car with a foggy windshield and failing brakes. You are moving, but you aren't safe. Psychologists call this sleep debt, and the interest rates are destroying your intelligence. It's time to pay back what you owe. Habit number 2. Multitasking and digital overload. We think we're being productive, but we're actually fracturing our attention spans. The human brain isn't wired to multitask. It simply switches between tasks rapidly, creating a mental static that lowers your functional IQ. Having 100 tabs open isn't a badge of honor. It's a recipe for cognitive burnout and shallow thinking. Your eyes dart from screen to screen, never resting long enough to engage the deep thinking parts of your prefrontal cortex. Every time you switch tasks, you pay a cognitive tax. You lose time and mental energy that could have been used for brilliance. This leads to attention residui. Parts of your mind are still stuck on the last task, preventing you from fully committing to the current one. The social cost is high too. We are often physically present but mentally miles away, lost in the digital stream. Your brain is being pulled in too many directions, and under this tension, your ability to reason and create begins to snap. Remember, focus is the currency of the 21st century. If you can't control your attention, you can't control your intelligence. Even in moments of peace, we reach for our phones, robbing our brains of the downtime they need to process information. Habit number 3. A high sugar and ultra-processed diet. What you put in your mouth directly dictates how well you think. Excessive sugar floods the brain, causing insulin resistance in neurons and literally rusting your cognitive machinery. The resulting sugar crash isn't just a physical feeling, it's a temporary drop in your ability to solve problems and stay sharp. Inflammation is the silent killer of brain cells. Processed foods trigger an immune response that keeps your brain in a state of constant stress. This is why you feel that heavy gray cloud over your thoughts, a symptom of nutritional neglect that lowers your daily performance. The difference between a brain fueled by real food and one fueled by chemicals is visible in every scan and every decision. Your brain's barriers are up. When you eat poorly, you're essentially locking the door to the nutrients that keep your neurons firing. Choosing the right fuel is an act of self-respect. Your brain will reward you with clarity and speed if you treat it well. Don't let simple glucose molecules hijack your potential. Break the cycle of sugar addiction before it rewires your mind. The craving is powerful, but your cognitive future is more important than a momentary sweet taste. Habit number 4. A sedentary lifestyle. If your body doesn't move, your brain begins to wither. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain. Without it, your cognitive centers are starving for oxygen and nutrients. The blood vessels in an inactive brain become narrow and less efficient, slowing down every thought and memory. Sitting for long hours is the new smoking for your intelligence, leading to a slow decline in focus and mental stamina. When you exercise, your brain produces BDNF, protein scientists call brain fertilizer, that grows new neurons. Staying still means you're wasting this incredible potential. Your brain remains in a state of stagnant maintenance instead of growth. A weak heart means a weak mind. If the pump isn't working at its best, the brain can never reach its peak. Just 30 minutes of movement can light up your brain like a firework display, sparking creativity and clearing the fog. Stagnation is the enemy of genius. Move your body to unlock the true power of your mind. Stand up, stretch, and feel the blood returning to your cognitive centers. Your IQ depends on it. Habit number 5. Chronic stress and social isolation. We are social animals, and loneliness is toxic to our neurons. Chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, which acts like an acid on the delicate structures of your brain. Specifically, it targets the hippocampus, area responsible for memory and learning, causing it to physically shrink over time. When we feel isolated, our brains enter a hypervigilant state that prevents deep rest and logical thinking. You can be in a crowd and still feel invisible. This emotional strain is a heavy burden on your cognitive processing power. Stress is like a giant wrench tightening around your head, squeezing out your ability to think clearly or solve problems. Meaningful social connection is like a superpower for the brain. It lowers stress and keeps your mind agile and young. Don't ignore the signs of burnouts. Dark circles and the constant sense of dread are warnings that your IQ is at risk. Social health is brain health. Protecting your emotional well-being is a fundamental part of protecting your intelligence. Without connection, our internal world becomes a storm. Find your tribe to keep your cognitive lights burning bright. Habits 6 through 8. Information junk food, stopping new learning, and poor hydration. These are the final nails in the coffin. Doom-scrolling short-form videos gives you cheap dopamine but zero intellectual value, training your brain to have the attention span of a fly. If you stop learning, your brain starts aging. Neuroplasticity requires challenge. Without new skills, your mental toolbox becomes rusty and useless. And never underestimate water. Your brain is 80% liquid. Even mild dehydration can shrink your brain tissue and impact your focus. A dehydrated neuron is a slow neuron. It shrivels like a raisin, losing its ability to transmit the electrical signals of thought. When you are thirsty, your IQ is already dropping. Simple math problems become obstacles, and your creativity dries up completely. Drink a glass of water and watch your cognitive clarity return instantly. It is the simplest and most effective brain hack available. Read a book, learn a language, or pick up an instrument. Your brain expands as it conquers new challenges. Consider your mind a muscle. If you don't go to the brain gym every day, you will lose the strength you once had. It is time to delete the bad habits and start a new chapter. Your cognitive health is in your hands. Reclaiming your cognition is possible. The brain is remarkably resilient once you stop the daily damage. Imagine a brain pulsating with health, firing at full speed, and capable of solving any problem you face. The fog will clear, the fatigue will vanish, and you will find a version of yourself that is smarter, faster, and more present. Take the checklist. Replace sleep debt with rest, sugar with nutrition, and scrolling with learning. You are the architect of your own mind. Build a foundation that supports your highest potential. Protect your IQ like your life depends on it. Because in the 21st century, it truly does. Sign a contract with yourself today. Commit to the habits that serve your genius and discard the ones that destroy it. Look at the world with new eyes that are sharp, intelligent, and focused on the future. Your power bars are now fully charged. You are ready to take on the world with your full intellectual capacity. If you enjoyed this look into psychology and mindset, don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the human's brain. Check out our other videos on mindfulness and human behavior. There's always more to explore.